I really can't think of life before Kiss. It just seems like they were always there. From the time that I heard music coming from my brother's bedroom, I remember that the Kiss solo albums were up on their wall, the posters that came inside that they locked together, which was an amazing marketing thing. You had to buy all Kiss solo albums to get that whole poster, right? So I just remember just loving everything about Kiss. I mean, they're superheroes. I mean, Ace shot rockets out his guitar. Did the Eagles do that? No. 1978 comes along. I'm 6 years old. I mean, just a little guy, and I'm in front of the TV, and Kiss Meets the Phantom was on the movie TV of the week. It's a really, really terrible, terrible movie.
Leave it to me, Star Child. I'll bend these beams with my mind.
But back then, it was the best thing I've ever seen. And so I'm watching this, and the solo albums were out, and I remember going to some store in the mall. Mom got me my very first Kiss album, Ace Frehley's solo album. Now, my brothers had a bunch of Kiss albums already. They had Rock and Roll Over, they had Love Gun, they had Kiss Alive. I remember over my cousin's house, the very first time I heard Kiss Alive was coming out of his window. I was out in the front yard, and I distinctly remember Peter Criss's drum solo just jamming out on 100,000 Years. That made me want to be a musician and play drums. But at a certain point, I didn't want to stay in the background. I want to get up front like Ace. I just wanted to rock like Ace did. And so Ace remains my favorite member of Kiss. Time goes on, and 1979 rolls around. My next door neighbor, Nick, his dad, Frank, was like, hey, we're going to Kiss, Freedom Hall, Louisville, Kentucky, the Dynasty Tour. Do you want to go? Do I want to go? Yes, please. Ask my mom. We don't have the money right now to do anything extra, so no. I was heartbroken. The first new album I remember coming out as a Kiss fan was Dynasty. In particular, I got the I Was Made for Lovin' You single, and so I wore that thing out in our living room in this old vinyl. It had the 8-track that was still working. It was actually a Zenith, and so wore it out. Then Unmasked came out, and that was truly, from the ground up, I was like, this is awesome. And a lot of people, just even Paul Stanley, dogs on this album, but it was like their power pop album. I love it. Then The Elder came out, and still into them. I actually still dig the album. But you know what I was really mad about was that there was no posters in there. Ace had the ordering form. Dynasty had the awesome poster of the floor. Even Unmasked had the cartoon poster in it. Nothing on The Elder. Opens up and there's nothing but chairs. It's like some kind of scene from a movie they were going to do with music from The Elder. Then Creatures of the Night comes out. Ace is on the album cover, but as we know now, he did not play a lick on that album. They were truly lying to their fans just to kind of make believe that Ace was still in the band. He was not. It was a return to form. It rocks. There's a little picture of me holding it for Christmas. My first concert was actually 1987 on the Crazy Nights tour, December 29th. Ted Nugent opened the show. It was killer. One memory I have was when we were driving home. We got in our car outside of Freedom Hall, and we're driving out of the parking lot, and WQMF here in town played the entire set list that we had just heard from Alive 1, Alive 2, and some of their 80s, hits. Couldn't wait to get home because I really had to pee. But actually, we probably went to White Castle or Steak and Shake or Denny's. One of those three was like the place you would go. Revenge comes out, and I saw Revenge. I saw it in Evansville, and I saw it in Louisville. And then I'm down in Nashville. I have this job as an intern at Emerald Sound Studios. And lo and behold, the singer from Poison, Bret Michaels,
hit it, CC,
is at the studio I'm at. It had mostly country stars like Reba McEntire, Garth Brooks was there, Vince Gill, George Strait. Really cool job as an intern to see all these country stars. And Bret Michaels is working on a movie called Letters from Death Row. We were down in the kitchenette one night talking, and he mentioned the Kiss tour, and I had just started hearing about the reunion tour. I was freaking out, and so was Bret. So it was really cool to kind of talk to the freaking singer of Poison about Kiss. And he was yearning to get Poison on that reunion tour as an opening act. It didn't happen. So we're talking about it. We're dreaming about it. And then finally the day comes. They announce the tour. Tiger Stadium, Detroit. Sells out in 45 minutes. And then I see the next date. I'm in Nashville, mind you. Louisville, Kentucky. Me and a buddy, Jason, who was in a band called Holy City Zoo together. He's like a mega Kiss fan like I was. We freak out. We got to get tickets. The irony of the reunion tour is that my mom bought me the ticket for the show at Freedom Hall on the reunion tour. I'll never forget seeing Kiss, the lights go out. And I was up on the side. I was on Ace's side, but way up, like looking straight down. There's the main crowd, and here's the stage. There's flashlights I see behind the stage, and all of a sudden I see Gene's boots. Then I see Paul, and I don't think Peter had boots on. He just had shoes. And then, last but not least, I see Ace Frehley's silver boots walking, and I actually got choked up. I was like, man, it's Ace Frehley, man. All right, come down, man. Play music, man. Space man. Anyways, they hit the stage. It was amazing. So that was my first true makeup show. And I saw them again in Nashville on the same tour. And then I see an amazing show out on Long Island in 2004-ish. I saw them with Aerosmith, and Aerosmith got just upstaged. And because they had Kiss go on first, which is stupid. Again, they're like coming out of the ceiling and they're blowing crap up, and then all of a sudden that ends, big curtain, and here comes Aerosmith with just some amplifiers and a drum set. It's so stupid. I was like, and they were playing from Honkin' on Bobo was their blues album, so it was a bullshit. Like, I'm like, no. Kiss! You know, you're not going to compete with. No. So after all these tours, they finally announced they're going to break up. And so 2000, they do the farewell tour. At the end of the show, I catch Ace Frehley's pick right at the last minute. He throws it. All I had to do was catch it. It was in my hand. I was like, ah! So I took a 12-year-old boy, my son Lucas, to his first Kiss show in 2019. He was knocked out, and Paul came out on this small stage, and he was maybe, you'll see the pictures, he's really close to us because he was all the way out into the arena. So that was a cool experience to see that show. So in 2021, after COVID had subsided, Kiss is playing Tampa, and it just happens we're going to be in Florida for our vacation at the very same time. So what do? What does a good metal dad do? He takes his metal kids, drives 3 hours to Tampa to see Kiss. This was after a 12-hour trip just to get to the condo, dropped the rest of the family off, and then me and Elijah and Lucas speed over to Tampa to see Kiss. Just when they came on, it was amazing seeing Elijah, especially, his face light up. And what I didn't realize until after seeing the video, I kind of saw something was happening with Gene's riser, but he almost fell off the thing. It's been widely seen in Kiss fandom that Gene almost bit it that night, and he was like far off the ground, and the thing was like this. So anyways, we saw that show. I mean, Gene has had all this history of flying up to the light rig, and he'll hit his base. And then he just wiggles off just right off the ground, and he doesn't go up. The guy is afraid of heights, and he still does all this stuff. So kudos to Gene. So I hope you've enjoyed these rock and roll stories of Kiss and my experience going to all these concerts, these amazing events throughout my life. And you know what they say, friends don't let friends go without metal, so you don't either. We'll see you soon.